Okay, so hi, I am Crystal Sheldon. I am the director for Java and Education at Oracle. This is our final webinar in a series where we were building a card game. This one's called Card Visuals with Text Blocks. And so we're going to be creating some visuals of our face cards using text blocks today. There's lots of different ways that you could incorporate some graphics into this program, either using JavaFX or images or all sorts of things, but I thought we would explore using text blocks. So that's what we're doing today. A recap for people who maybe haven't been following along with our journey. We have several webinars that are posted that kind of go along with this. We started with just creating a deck of cards. We used some enums to do that. We used some records to do that. And we created a class for the deck of cards. And then we moved on and we created methods, and we created a deal method to deal those cards out. We created a player class that had an array list to hold the hand. And then we started doing some other things like shuffling the deck and playing a game. And you can find all of that posted on our YouTube channel and also at learn.java. So today we're going to just go through what are text blocks in case people aren't unaware of what a text block is. It is something that came out in Java 15, and they're kind of cool. So let's look at what they are. They are a multi-lined string literal that avoids the need to use most of our escape sequences. So it's a way for us to put some text on the screen and have it format however we typed it into the editor. And you're going to see that in a second. So for example, if we have something like this, void main, io_println, first and then /n is an escape sequence that brings it to the next line. Second /n brings it to the next line. Third, this is going to print first, second, third, just like you have it on the screen. I'm going to take just a quick second. If you are unfamiliar with this structure, with Java 25, this is how you can start writing Java programs super quick and easy. You do not need a public class header any longer. You do not need public static void main string args any longer. You can just do void main, and it will intuitively grab the name of the file as the class name for this class, and it just really lowers the overhead for students. And then instead of system.out.println, there is a new class called IO that operates very much the same way. It allows us to have output io.println really simply, and it also does input very easily too. So if you haven't checked that out, I recommend that you do, because it's just very low entry for students to get into writing a program, and for professionals. Like if you need to just try out some code and you don't want to do all the overhead of a big program, you can just start void main and start writing your code. Okay, so this is what traditionally without text blocks the code would look like. To do a text block, we're going to use 3 quotes at the start, and then we just format our text first, second, third. They're all on separate lines, just like I want the output to be. And that's going to print out the same thing as the previous code. So we start with these 3 quotes at the beginning. The block of code that you want printed must not start on the same line as these 3 quotes. So we can't put first after that. It has to have a delimiter to break it up and put it on the next line. So we're going to put first on the next line, and then it ends the block with 3 quotes. And those 3 quotes at the end do not need to be on a line by themselves. I kind of like it that way. It just kind of wraps it up for me a little bit like braces, but you could also put that after third and you're going to get the same result. So this will also print first, second, third like we had it. Okay, so maybe no big deal, but think about this code here. I've got a column 1, column 2, column 3. I've got some information in there. I've got it all formatted the way that I want it, and using text blocks, it just prints it out exactly how I have it. The spacing is preserved, the return carriages are preserved, the tabs are preserved, everything has been preserved in the format there. So how am I going to use this with card visuals with text blocks? So here is my visualization of the Ace of Hearts. I just use A's for ace and H's for the fact that it's hearts. And I drew out a little ace of hearts here. You can also make your text block here, because this is a string literal, you can assign that to a string, so you don't have to just do it in an output statement. So here I did string card and I set that equal to my text block. That's perfectly fine too. io.println card, and it's going to print the card out just as I have it there. So that's one way you could do it. Maybe you add this as another, like the visual of the card as another parameter for your card. And so as you're building the cards, you have that in there, and that creates your cards for you. Thank you for stopping by and just learning a little bit quickly about text blocks.